Howdy y'all, let's do a quick video about coordinating rejections. So when you're ingesting into Elasticsearch, there's three common types of request rejections that are going to show up client side. In other videos, we've talked about the other two, which are more common, about thread pool rejections and circuit breaker rejections. So now we're going to talk about indexing pressure. So indexing pressure errors also show as EsRejectedExecutionExceptions, and then their sub messages end up telling you if it's coordinating in primary, and or replica. So these come down to a handful of common reasons, but basically it's saying like the size of the package that you're trying to get through isn't set up well for your cluster. So let's see from a Python example. That API error is going to be a 429, ES rejected execution, and then this particular one ended up erroring about coordinating operations. In that Python, I can just show you guys real quick. So I was using lorem ipsum, and then I was doing a paragraph and multiplying it by 3000, which is pretty large. Let's just say what the length was of that. So we are almost 700,000 characters. So extensively large. I was going to show y'all in Discover, but that as a message field is big enough that it crashes Discover. So that size is extremely large. Again, Elasticsearch has a warning against large docs. This one potentially starts bordering that. Quick spoiler though, my cluster is incredibly small, right? Like it's 1 gigabyte. So that also is definitely in play. That I had to set it as small as possible just to make sure that I could induce an error. Looking at that rejected execution, so we have bulk indexing size, backlog task. The last one is refresh interval settings. So also to induce this error, the default refresh interval is 1 second. I lowered it to 1 millisecond, which is crazy low. But again, I got it to error and that's what I was going for. So let's go see if we can kick off any more. Again, that ends up telling us, oh, I have to take out my block. That's funny. Do it again. That doc ends up telling us that we can pull node stats in order to see how things are going. So just confirming for everybody, node stats is calculating per node from its uptime point. So if a node restarts or out of memories or whatever, right, it's going to restart that increment. And so we want to pull this once, wait some interval, and then pull it a second time and do the math difference between those two in order to know how that's changing over time. So it didn't have any results, which means my nodes restarted. That's cool. So I lost my 2 coordinating rejections. Did I? I left my system exit. That's funny. Cool. I want a lot of data. I want it to break. Just so that we can see. We don't like breaking production. Okay. Let's see if we can get anybody to coordinating reject. Earlier when I was trying, I kept getting circuit breakers. So, here's to finding out. We did it. Awesome. Okay, so we got 2 more coordinating errors. It looks like those fell under this bulk action, so Python side doesn't have more information for us. That one circuit broke. Cool. So again, like all of these errors frequently happen like in tandem with each other. So we at least got more coordinating rejections, which is exactly what we were going for. So again, if and when this error occurs, usually you're going to want to look at your active tasks because this is kind of a fix going forward type of situation. Again, anytime you have retries, that's going to help your system try to process anything in that backlog. But you're going to want to look at current tasks, and in those current tasks, go try to gauge for your document size that you have a good lineup between your bulk sizing and or on the Elasticsearch side, the refresh interval associated to that index. Obviously, this is where you begin the discussion. These are the most common gotchas. Anything further is going to be that generic task queue backlog investigation. So I'm really happy I was actually able to reproduce that. Yay, we got that error through. Awesome. Thanks all for hanging out. Bye.